Of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's got some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9. Breeze. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 45-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Breeze. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and...
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 2nd down, Kamara. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Try the jet sweep here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Wide receivers.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off. And trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Now they'll throw with Breeze. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. And they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, you know, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. We're scoreless after 1. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Sometimes running plays hit or break so fast, there's no reaction time from the secondary. So I've got to give credit to the offensive line for creating that hole so suddenly. And how decisive was he to take that cut and just go? No one downfield there to stop him.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost. So.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game, make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Trying for Sanders, but this is intercepted. Picked off here at 32. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time. And again, I think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans 1st. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Breeze to throw again. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they will finally get him as he's pulled away down near the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
34-yard line.
He'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Complete to number 88.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Taken down.
Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
Pittsburgh.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
That's complete right around the 8. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. A screen pass. That's complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
The doubt of the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
1st and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
And this one is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. They're going for Sanders downfield. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Eluding the pressure right. Sanders has it all around. He gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 21. And these guys have got it back in the closing stages of the first half.
They'll take over.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
A quick slam as the throw is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get high.
And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, within a 2 on 3rd down, you're a little off balance.
4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Breeze. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Cameron Hayward able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense now with a short field ahead. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 9-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. 1st down.
And goal at the 4-yard line.
They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. That's Crosby. Just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Again, and down he goes again. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
A 34-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said does. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The 2nd down throw on target. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Throwing now is Breeze. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play.
Saints, nothing.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
That's out to the left and complete. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. To the right side to Eric Ebron. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Handoff here to his running back. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
3rd down.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Now they set up the screen. It's complete. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. So out comes the field goal team once more. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. This one now not over yet,
Charles, you've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Breeze now on first down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Fitzpatrick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff looking right. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure.
He's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point now by Boswell. Pushes the lead up to 23 now.
Steelers 23, Saints nothing. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Tonight's final score, Steelers 20.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Pittsburgh, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.